Good morning, everybody. This is your boy AJ Tripp coming at you with an unexpected rapid reaction. I have to be honest. I got up just because I don't know why. Something woke me up. Whatever. But I was getting ready to lay my head back down, go to sleep, give me another couple hours of rest. And just decided to look across my phone, and I looked at my phone, and then I started looking so well, maybe I'll watch this video on YouTube before I lay back down. And I pressed the wrong video, and it was a live stream of ESPN because Tony Romo apparently has decided to stop playing football. And what? What? Wait a minute. What? Tony Romo stopped playing is going to now. It doesn't say he's going to retire. It just says that he is going to leave the NFL to pursue broadcasting opportunities. That's what it has across ESPN. Romo will be designated as a post June 1 release. I guess meaning that they won't release him until June 1st comes around. This means that Romo will pursue opportunities in broadcasting. Decision came down to health, believes family and health are top priorities. So, um, I think I and everybody thought that Tony Romo would want to continue on playing, and it did sound like that maybe he did, but maybe something along the way just kind of said, well, you know what, my back doesn't feel right, or maybe maybe he talked to his wife, Candace Crawford, and he said to him, hey, listen, for me and the kids, you have kids now, and for me, maybe don't do this. Again, it doesn't say that he's retired. It just says that he is leaving the NFL to pursue broadcasting opportunities. So, and by the way, this could all be a ruse. This could all be a ruse, to where when he gets released at June 1st, he says, "Oh, well, you know what? I actually don't feel very healthy now." So actually, hey Houston, I'm signing on the dotted line. Hey Denver, let me sign on the dotted line. So that could very well be, what might happen. But until it does, let's treat this as this is the end of Tony Romo playing professional football, and let's look at his career. Right? He goes to Eastern Illinois. He plays there for 4 years. He's undrafted by the Dallas Cowboys. Sits for maybe year and a half or 2.5 years, something like that. Replaces Drew Bledsoe in the middle of a season. And plays very well after replacing him, so well that he becomes a starter, and then he leads them to a playoff berth, right? Or maybe was the playoff berth the same year as when he came in, because he was still holding, I think, maybe, yeah, because they showed like the hold where he messed up against Seattle in the playoffs, and because I think that was actually 2006. So let's look here. Yeah, it was 2.5 years he sat on the bench. Then he came in the middle of 2006, and they had a 6-4 record. They went to the playoffs that year, 2006, because that was the Bears Super Bowl year. I remember that because I think the Bears were the number 1 seed, so I think they would have faced either or the top seed, that year. They would have faced they would have faced the lowest rated seed, which would have been I think either or team, because I think Seattle was 4 and I think Dallas was 5. Seattle had the home game, so they would have done that, and let's see what Bill Walton's crazy. No, maybe they were talking about Tony Romo as well. But so yeah, and then he had the bobble of the snap at the end of the game for the winning field goal, and he tried to run it in, and he almost made it. So but then ever since then, ever since that 2006 when he came in 2007 year, I think he's been a damn good quarterback. I mean, 2007 he was 4,200 yards. 2008 he had 3,400 yards. He played on, but he only played 13 games. He missed 3 games. And then 2009 he had 4,400 yards. And then 2010 he missed 10 games, but he had 1,600. And then, just and then like 2011, 4,100. 2012, maybe in his most yards 4,900. I don't know if statistically it was his best year. I think statistically his best year might have came surrounding that year, 2011. Even 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 66 completion percentage, and then 2013, so the same, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and then the 63% completion percentage. So yeah, when you look at it, when he goes through, and then like he has like the injury in 2015, and he goes out there, and then like he has the preseason injury last year, and Dak Prescott takes over for him, and then Dak Prescott doesn't play like a rookie at all, leads them to a division championship, and they lose to the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs, but still, it's crazy. He ends his career with a 78-49 record. 2,829 completions, 43-35 attempts, a completion percentage of 65.3, 3,400 and 183 yards, 34,000 I should say, 34,183 yards, 248 touchdowns, 117 interceptions. Quarterback rating of 97.1. Wow. This is some of the things. Apparently, I think he's got 25 fourth quarter comebacks. They were talking about his stats dwarf Troy Aikman's, and I think Dan Le Batard, who was on the thing, I think he said he got a little bit, a little bit backwards. He's talking about that, by the time Troy Aikman played in the era of Dan Marino, which was past the league. Actually, no, it wasn't. It really wasn't. It was still a running first league. Really what you had is you had Dan Marino throwing the ball all over the place. You had Houston run and shoot, throwing the ball all over the place. Atlanta run and shoot, throwing the ball all over the place. Detroit, I think, even Detroit with the run and shoot, still they had Barry Sanders. So they wasn't. I don't want to say they were throwing the ball all over the place, but look, it probably was. They probably was a lot more balanced. But they somehow with Barry Sanders they were running as well. But I think for the most part, teams were still running the football first and then throwing the ball second. So I'm not gonna. I disagree with that. Detroit Aikman still didn't play in that type of era. The passing era of the league we see now did not start until 1998, and it started with the Greatest Show on Turf. Greatest Show on Turf. Peyton Manning was a rookie that year. Um, and many other things, but I think that's when the passing era started. Was 1998. Uh, it was the start right of that, and then went into the whole greatest shows of. Now, it actually would have been 1999. Now that I think about it, 1999. So, but I didn't really think the passing era started. It started but at then the era we live in now, the passing era, it started in 1999. It didn't start. It wasn't started back when Troy Aikman was still playing. So we can. I think Dan's wrong on that. But yeah, he was selected to 4 Pro Bowls. He was a first All Pro team. He did not win any MVPs. I'm gonna say what he probably led. He led his team to only 3 double-digit winning seasons. And actually, when you look at it, he only led his team to those actually winning seasons, right? Because the other one, he was 8-5 when he played 13 games in 2008. 2011, 2012, he played 16. He was 8-0. Dallas 2013, he's 8-7. 2014, he was 12-3. That one. He was 3-1 in 2015 before he got injured. He took over for Drew Bledsoe. He was 6-4 then. So really, you can only say that in the full seasons he played, and let's count the let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna count the double-digit games seasons. That would be 8 of those. He only had 3 double-digit winning seasons. Those are the only winning seasons that he. Well, no, he had the 8-5 one. Excuse me about that. I guess the okay. That's just. I'm rambling and stumbling over here, but let's just say he had the 3 double-digit winning seasons, which he should have had more. He should have had more, and it is just, I don't know what it is. For the longest time, there's a comparison that some people think Tony Romo is Jay Cutler. And let's face it, I'm in Chicago and I've seen the 8 years that I saw with Jay Cutler. Tony Romo is so much better than Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is here. Tony Romo is here. Now, you watched it sometimes, Tony Romo. Yes, he frustrated the hell out of you. I mean, you would be here and and you were thinking that you'd be right there on the cusp, and then he'll take it away. And we would break your heart. I'm sure as a Cowboys fan and as someone maybe who was rooting for the Cowboy, you weren't a Cowboy fan, but maybe you wanted to root for him. He would just break your heart. He'd tear your heart out. And he wasn't perfect, without question. He wasn't perfect, but he was damn good. I think he was damn good, and he was good enough that I think some people, I think, said that you would miss Tony Romo when he was gone. That being said, I think the Dallas Cowboys may not miss Tony Romo. We'll have to see how Dak Prescott continues his run, but I don't think the Cowboys will miss Tony Romo. At least maybe not on the field as a player. They might miss him in his leadership as a friend, as a family member. But I don't think they will miss him. But yeah, this is a shock. This is unbelievable. I cannot believe this. I was certain. It took so long. And again, this could be all the rules on Tony Romo just to get the Cowboys to release him. I'm gonna keep that open. That this is maybe 25% of what this is just to wait it out until June 1st and and get Tony Romo to and get the Cowboys to release him because because he could go to Denver, although Denver has said sometimes that they like Trevor Siemian and they like the young guy. Paxton Lynch is just not ready yet, but they like him and everything. And then there's Houston, who I'm sure would love him, and I'm sure that's what they were waiting for, for him to be released, and then they could come in at the end and then take him, you know, at the end of June 1st, right? But wow, you shouldn't be shocked by this because this is the NFL. This is a dangerous sport, and of recent times, players even younger than Tony Romo have retired because they're worried about their health. When it comes to concussions and everything like that, this does not have anything to do with concussions or nothing. Excuse me. This has nothing to do with concussions or anything like that. I think this is more or less just the stuff about the back injury. Where he fractured his vertebrae, fractured his collarbone, things like that. So I think that's where that is going. And again, like I said, he's got some young kids, and I'm sure that he wants to be able to play with them and have longevity with that. He doesn't want to say, "Oh, well, Daddy, listen, that Daddy can't play with you right now because Daddy's in pain." I'm sure that he doesn't want that to ever be the case with his children. So, gotta tell you, this is a shock. Again, like I said, it doesn't say that he's going to retire. It just says that he is leaving the NFL. So we'll wait and see. Like I said, I'm gonna keep that 25% open that this is maybe a ruse just to get released by the Cowboys. But we will see what happens over time. We will see if other things happen. If he does say that he is retiring, things like that. If other things start to come out, then we will see. Right now, this is just breaking. So some crazy. If you're a sports fan, the last 2 days have been woo. The Undertaker on Sunday in the world of professional wrestling, and now Tony Romo. Man. All right, post your comments down below. Tell me what you thought. What do you think about Tony Romo? Is he a Hall of Famer? I looked at the stats. My first thought was, well, yeah, he is a Hall of Famer. But after looking at those stats and just seeing that he's got 3 seasons of only more than 10 victories, yeah, I had to say no. He's in that quote unquote Hall of Very Good. Definitely. So, but tell me what you thought. Tell me what you thought about his career. Where does he belong in the pantheon of the NFL quarterbacks? How good was he? How good did you think he was? Did you think he was overrated? Did you think he was underrated? Tell me everything. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you think. Make sure you like this video, share it with all your family and friends, and make sure you subscribe. This has been the Rapid Reaction. Tony Romo leaving the NFL to pursue broadcast opportunities. That's it for me right now. This is your boy AJ Tripp signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. I'm out.